From the moment we are born, we are wrapped in expectations. Parents gaze at their newborn child and already imagine a future sculpted by dreams, hopes, and silent demands. Society greets us with invisible contracts, telling us how to act, what to achieve, and what path to follow. These expectations are woven into the air we breathe, into the words we hear, into the subtle glances that judge our choices. They do not arrive all at once. They accumulate like sediment, layering quietly until one day we feel the crushing weight of a life built not by our inner compass, but by the demands of others. Expectations are powerful because they exist in the shadows of both love and control. Parents may tell themselves they only want the best for their child, but often what they mean is they want their child to live the life they themselves could not. A father who failed in business may push his son towards success not out of pure encouragement, but as a way to redeem his own unfulfilled ambitions. A mother who longed for freedom may subtly pressure her daughter to pursue independence, not simply for the daughter's sake, but to heal her own regrets. Expectations disguise themselves as care, but underneath lies the hunger for control, the desire to mold another life into one's own vision. The cruel paradox is that while expectations are invisible, their weight is as real as chains. A student pressured to excel may not see the hand pressing down on him, but he feels it with every late night of study, every pang of anxiety, every self-inflicted wound of perfectionism. The child becomes the carrier of dreams that were never their own, dreams that transform into burdens. What begins as encouragement mutates into obsession, and what was once love feels like suffocation. We are trained from childhood to believe that pleasing others is survival. Approval is rewarded, disobedience is punished. The student who brings home good grades is praised, showered with affection. The one who fails is met with silence, disappointment, or even shame. Slowly, we learn that worth is conditional, that love is fragile, and that to be accepted, one must conform. These early lessons carve deep scars into the psyche, shaping adults who confuse obedience with purpose, who mistake performance for identity. They do not ask themselves what they desire, because the question feels dangerous, even forbidden. Society builds upon this conditioning with ruthless efficiency. Culture defines success with narrow metrics: wealth, beauty, influence, prestige. Social media intensifies the pressure, creating a hall of mirrors where every achievement is compared, measured, and ranked. A promotion, once a personal victory, becomes insignificant if it does not surpass what others have achieved. A relationship, once a source of joy, becomes a trophy to display, proof that one is desirable, accomplished, enviable. Expectations infiltrate every space, whispering that nothing is enough, that one must always strive for more, because standing still is failure. What makes expectations particularly dangerous is how easily they disguise themselves as self-motivation. A person may believe they are chasing a goal out of personal desire, but if you peel back the layers, you often find the hidden strings of external approval. The lawyer who claims he loves his career may in truth be terrified of disappointing his family. The influencer who insists she shares content out of passion may secretly be enslaved by the algorithm's demand for constant relevance. Even ambition itself is often borrowed, constructed out of societal blueprints rather than genuine longing. This is why so many achieve their goals only to feel emptier than before. The ladder they climbed was leaning against the wrong wall. Expectations also shape our relationships. We do not simply love others, we expect them to play roles in our scripts. A partner is expected to complete us, to affirm our worth, to behave in ways that soothe our insecurities. A friend is expected to support us unconditionally, even when we are wrong. A child is expected to inherit not only our genes, but our dreams. And when they fail to meet these silent contracts, resentment brews, disappointment festers, love becomes conditional, and relationships decay under the pressure of unspoken demands. The tragedy is that these expectations often go unexamined. They operate like background noise so constant that we no longer notice them. And yet, they guide our decisions with invisible hands. We take jobs we do not want, marry people we do not truly connect with, pursue goals that bring no satisfaction, all because somewhere in the back of our minds we hear the echo of voices demanding compliance. It is not our own voice guiding us. It is the ghost of parents, teachers, peers, culture itself. To break free from the weight of expectations requires ruthless honesty. It demands we confront the terrifying question, what do I truly want? This question is dangerous precisely because it threatens to dismantle the foundations of our constructed lives. If the answer is that you do not want the career you spent decades building, or the relationship you built your identity around, then everything collapses. It is easier to live in quiet suffering than to endure the chaos of liberation, and so most people never ask, never dare. They carry the weight until it crushes them, until their lives become graves of unlived potential. Yet liberation is possible. It begins with noticing the difference between internal desire and external demand. When you act, ask yourself, am I doing this because it truly resonates with me, or because I am afraid of what others will think if I do not? This is not a simple distinction, because expectations run so deep they masquerade as instinct. But through reflection, one can begin to peel away the layers. Meditation, solitude, journaling, or simply sitting in silence with discomfort, these practices create space for the authentic voice to emerge. It will not scream, it will whisper, faintly, almost drowned out by the roar of expectations. But if you listen, it grows stronger. The process of shedding expectations is painful, because it often means disappointing others. Parents may not understand, friends may feel abandoned, society may label you a failure. But true freedom is not about pleasing the crowd. It is about aligning with your own inner truth, no matter how unconventional, no matter how misunderstood. To free oneself is to accept the loneliness that comes with authenticity, the exile that comes with honesty. Not everyone can bear this exile, but those who do find a life lighter, more real, and infinitely more fulfilling. The irony of expectations is that they promise security but deliver suffocation. People believe that by following the expected path, they will be safe, loved, respected. But safety becomes a cage, love becomes conditional, respect becomes hollow. The real security lies in the courage to step off the path, to risk failure, to risk being misunderstood. For in that risk lies authenticity, and in authenticity lies freedom. And yet, even in freedom, expectations never vanish entirely. We carry them like scars, like echoes that never fade. The difference is that when we awaken, we can see them for what they are: illusions, projections, chains of the mind. They lose their grip when we no longer mistake them for truth. The voice that once commanded us, be successful, be perfect, be admired, becomes nothing more than background noise, powerless to control. Life will always contain expectations, both from others and from ourselves. The question is not how to eliminate them, but how to recognize them and choose consciously whether to obey. Blind obedience enslaves. Conscious choice liberates. The weight of expectations can crush us, or it can be the resistance against which we build strength. What matters is awareness. Without awareness, we are puppets. With awareness, we are free. And so, the challenge is set. Will you continue to live under the crushing weight of others' demands? Or will you risk the dangerous freedom of authenticity? The choice is yours and no one else's.